All right, now how did you want me to do this? Tell them what? But, all right, hold on. See if I can read this. Hello, my name is Jason, and I recently put mis and or possibly disinformation on the internet. Is that okay? All right. Now that we have that out of the way. Hey there, folks. How you doing today? Yeah, we did. We'll talk about it here in a minute. Welcome back to the channel. Please bear with the background racket and the sounds of life happening outside. We have some good stuff to cover for you here today. I'm going to try to cram it all into about a 10 or 12 minute block. I know your time is valuable, and this is a midweek release video, so there's that. Couple of real quick things that I wanted to get covered. I got them written down here so that I don't forget anything. I'm probably still forgetting something. Got the email today from the folks over at Excess Sights out of Fort Worth, Texas. Fantastic company, Americans, Patriots, top-notch manufacturers of aftermarket replacement sights for your whatever it is you're needing to put sights on. Go check them out. If you're watching this anytime around the time it came out, middle of November, the sale is going to start, I think, on the 27th of November and run through December 4th. I think those are the days. It will say over here if I'm off a little bit, but I think that's what they are. Go check them out. 30% off store-wide. This is their biggest sale of the year, folks. Moving on from that, some of you, I wasn't one of them, I was in bed by that time, stayed up the other night to watch two men dance on pay-per-view. Well, I think it was on Netflix, but you know what I'm talking about. If you were disappointed in the overall performance of the Tyson-Jake Paul fight, allow me to post this little palate cleanser video for you.
Let's get ready to rumble!
I hope you got as much out of that as I did. I'm going to put my notes down now, and I'm going to kind of shoot from the hip. I might have to refer back to them a time or two. Don't worry about that. It's just the way we do things around here. Out here on the table in front of me, I've got some really cool stuff. I have my Ruger American Gen 2 in 243. Most of y'all are probably familiar with this rifle from the channel. We have a full-length review on it, as well as we've featured it in a couple of other videos as well. This is probably the best rifle I've ever bought out of the box in terms of just shootability. If you are familiar with this rifle and you've been paying attention, you probably noticed that the optics sitting on top of it are not the same optics that I had on it before. There is a reason for that. If you went back to, I think it was that video, I'll double check, but I think it was that one. I was having a little bit of issue with the target that I was using and the reticle that was on the scope that was on this rifle, which was, when I purchased the rifle, a brand new scope that I had purchased just for this rifle. But you know, I had never seen it in the wild. I ordered it on the internet, and when I got it out to the range and on paper, the way the reticle reacted with my eye just wasn't good, so I traded it out. Now, Andy Warhol, when taken out of context, is famous for saying, new things are always better than old things, so the new scope on this rifle is bound to be better than the old one, right? Don't take stuff out of context. This actually is not a brand new scope. This is a scope that we had most recently mounted on my Savage 110 in 30-06. I took this off of there because that rifle is going back to its original owner in the near future. So I put that Vortex Viper HD that I had on this rifle on that one for him because it's more suited to what he's going to be using it for. Anyway, now we've got a 6x24 sitting up here on top of our Ruger American. I have had extremely good luck with this scope in the past, so I already knew it was going to work well on this rifle. So if you've seen the videos that we've done on this rifle in the past, you'll know that there were several factory loadings that shot really well and to similar points of impact out of this rifle, so we were excited about that. And if you saw this video, then you might know that I was working up a hand load for it, and that is where the misinformation comes in. If you saw that video, you heard me mention, or I think you heard me mention, I think that's where I put it. I know I put it out somewhere in a video, and I think that's the one, that the load that I had developed for this was using a 95 grain Hornady SST projectile. Well, I had almost run out of those. I wanted to play around with them a little bit more through the rifle, because the last time I had taken it out, the best group I was able to get out of it with that loading was a 1.32, I think it was, and one of them was a little high. That could have just been me. The other two were right in there. I don't know what happened there, but I was having trouble with that reticle that was on there before, so I decided, since I had a new scope on it, I was going to load up a few more of those and take it back out. Well, when I went to load them back up, I did load an extremely similar load with a 95 grain Hornady SST. When I got out there and I got to looking at my ammo, the ammo that I had loaded last time was not a 95 grain Hornady SST. Rather, it was a 100 grain boat-tailed soft point Hornady interlock. Identical boxes. I purchased them at the same time. I did not realize at the time that I purchased them that I bought a box of 100 grain interlocked. Somebody had put it in the wrong spot on the shelf, and so I wound up with one box of odd ammo. Turns out that one shot better through this rifle than the 95 grain bullet did, I think. We'll talk about that a little bit here in a minute. But we got a 1.3 inch group with the old scope out of this rifle with that ammo, so the stuff I took out to the range this time thinking it was the same thing actually wasn't at all. And while I kind of screwed up on the video footage, I will show you here the groups. I've got it written down so I can read them. I've got one that was just under 1.5 inches, and I felt myself pull that one that's kind of high up at the 11 o'clock position. That was me, I think. The other one came in at 1.1 inches and was kind of a vertical string. Not sure what was going on there, because otherwise the rifle had been shooting pretty good. If you look at that group down in the bottom corner there, you'll see that I had fired the last 4 rounds of that 100 grain interlock stuff that I had, and that is inside of 1 inch, folks. That is actually 0.94, and if you're wondering about the one that's out there a little ways and seeing if maybe it was a little longer in the other direction, I measured it 2 different ways. It was 0.94, definitely under 1 inch for those 4 shots, so I think that load was better than the load I developed with the SST. Go figure. I'll make up some more and I'll take it back out, and I will let you know next time. Wow. I'm glad we're over that. Let's see. What else do I have on here? Oh, yeah. That's what I was going to cover. So, while I was out there, I was excited to test out this right here. I'll show you. This is a box of Remington Corelokt tipped 95 grain 243. I know the light is glaring on that and you might not be able to see it how it's sitting, but I'll put up a close-up so you can see what it looks like. Also, I've got a couple of the rounds out here. These are a green tipped nylon ballistic tip bullet. Really kind of cool looking. They check all the boxes in the cool factor for what they look like, but what they look like doesn't matter at all. How did they perform? I had, this is a new ammunition that just came out on the market. I had heard good things about it, and man, I was excited to try it. This is the first box I'd ever seen in the wild. I picked them up, I took them out and shot it, and this, folks, was the result. Now, inevitably, when I do the twin camera thing on here, there's people that complain, well, you should make the target big and you little, or vice versa, or whatever. So I did it both ways so you could see it both ways here. So here's the other way. And of course, that's Bo the cat for scale. He is not mine. He belongs to my buddy Aaron. He sent me that picture, and I used it as a placeholder when I was trying to get the two cameras lined up in the editing process, and it looked kind of cool, so I just left it in there. Bo, thanks for joining us in that cameo role. What else? But there you saw it, folks. You cannot argue with the results from this Remington Corelokt tipped. I had seen some really impressive range data on the internet floating around concerning this stuff since it came out a few months ago. Man, it did not disappoint. I measured it like 3 times. That is a 0.27 inch group, almost a 1/4 of an inch group, definitely quarter MOA. Really, really, really good stuff. I cannot wait to get back out there and put a few more rounds through this. And also our Ruger Hawkeye guide gun. I picked up some 150 grain 30-06 Corelokt tipped that we're going to be shooting through that. So fingers crossed that it'll work good. I'll let you know about that next week. So hopefully you got something out of this. We're still using our 243. I have not hunted with it yet. For those of you that saw this video, you will know that I went hunting a couple of weeks ago, but I did not hunt because I was letting somebody else who had never killed a deer have their turn. They managed, and so now next time when I go back, it'll be me and the boy, and I'm going to take this one and the 30-06, and hopefully we'll take something with each of them. But I am 100% convinced now that the ammunition that I'm going to take in this rifle is going to be this new Corelokt tipped. I cannot wait to see how it performs terminally on a South Texas whitetail. I hope you got something out of this. Let me know down below. Let me know if you've tried this stuff and have good accurate... let me try that in English. Let me know if you have tried this stuff and have achieved good accuracy, or if maybe you didn't have the same result. I'd like to hear from you down below. Let's keep the conversation going. Don't forget, Excess Sights is having their sale. Until next time, folks, take care and God bless.